Architectural Artcast.
I've seen the War of the Rohirrim, and I will do a longer, more in-depth critique later. But I want to start off by giving you all my first impressions, my first thoughts on what I saw. Now, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, but I will be talking about things, so it is what it is. The short version, the movie is long and boring. It drags. The story is simple, should only take about 45 minutes to tell, but they put it into a 2.5-hour movie. Before I went to the movie, I hadn't eaten all day. My drink ran right through me. I had to go to the bathroom a couple times. I was able to time it so I could run out, do my business, and run back, and the same scene was still going on. I didn't miss anything. Let's talk about some of the good. The animation. I like it. It's really well done, it's pretty, and it's enjoyable to look at. It's a mixture of Japanese anime and 1980 cartoons, all inspired by Ralph Bakshi. There's this real sense that you're seeing something that was made in an earlier time. As much as I like the animation, it's being well done, it's pretty, all the references, it has a fundamental flaw. It's the same flaw that's shared with Rings of Power, The Acolyte, all these other modern adaptations. There's no sense of grandness, of scale, of epicness. Helm Hammerhand takes the Rohirrim army out to fight against the Hill People in a scene that's supposed to evoke our memories of the Pelennor Fields. In fact, Helm Hammerhand says words very similar to King Theoden's. I guess we're supposed to assume that's where King Theoden got those words. In fact, the Rohirrim shout, "Death!" But there's no sense of a massive cavalry army charging into another army. In fact, the battle takes place at night. There's barely a dozen people on screen at one time. That's the problem with the movie as a whole. Except for some landscape shots, everything is close and compact and claustrophobic. There's no grand cast of characters. There's no characters at all. Just a bunch of foils for Hera. The music is more of a mixed bag. Now, it's not bad or anything. In fact, it's very well done. And at times, it's really good. The scene where Helm Hammerhand dies and they play the dirge gave me goosebumps and chills. But the music is meant to remind us at all times we're in a Lord of the Rings movie. And as I became more annoyed with the story, I became more annoyed with the music, but it was constantly reminding me that I was watching something that wasn't as good as The Lord of the Rings. And after a while, I'm like, just shut up already. There are Easter eggs, some subtle and some not so subtle, scattered throughout the movie. Just like the music, they take every opportunity to remind us we're watching a Lord of the Rings movie. It's as if they're insecure. They're trying a little too hard to convince us. For me, all those constant reminders backfired. As I became more annoyed with the story, with Hera, and with all the lore violations, I did not want to be constantly reminded of the earlier movies. After a while, my reactions became, "Oh no, that's BS. Oh no, you didn't do that." We have to talk about the fundamental problem with the movie. Hera. Hera. From the moment the opening monologue begins, you know exactly what you're getting. Academic, corporate, intersectional feminism on steroids. Hera is the bestest at everything. The bestest writer, the bestest fighter, the bestest tracker. She solves every single problem instantly. And the story wants you to believe that if just all those stupid men would have listened to her in the first place, all of this would have been avoided. Helm Hammerhand alternates between being a jackass and a dumbass. And the only time he's portrayed as being noble and heroic is when he finally recognizes Hera for being the amazing woman she's always been. All the men of Rohan are on one hand constantly disparaging and putting down women, but then on the other hand are shown to be duplicitous, cowardly, and ignoble. The movie goes out of its way to let us know without directly saying that Hera is a lesbian. She repeats twice, "I do not want to marry any man." And then at the end of the movie, she rides off into the sunset with her longtime female companion. Back to the whole marriage thing. Hera, of course, she doesn't want the arranged marriage. She would lose her agency. She wants to choose for herself. Helm Hammerhand, on the other hand, he doesn't want to marry Hera off to Wolf, the son of the southern noble guy. He wants to marry her off to Gondor. I have a question for y'all. Why is it in all these academic, corporate, intersectional, and feminist stories about arranged marriage, the woman's the one going, no, 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 that's not fair to me. I want to have a say. But the guy is always down with it. It's always like, yeah, give me the girl. There is an answer. Having said all that, the War of the Rohirrim is not Tolkien. You remove the names, the references, the Easter eggs, it just becomes another modern, generic, pseudo-medieval, pseudo-fantasy story. And not that good a story at that. If you want to see something that looks good, has a good soundtrack, that has a basic story that really promotes the girl, then War of the Rohirrim will be just fine. But if you're looking for Tolkien, don't waste your time. At any rate, I hope I've given you all something to think about, and until next time, y'all be safe. If y'all are still here, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. While you're at it, why don't you like this video, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. You can hear me yammer on, probably about more War of the Rohirrim pretty soon, next time. And feel free to share this video far and wide.
Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment.